often saves the day. And today we're whining about such a superhero. This is an Italian red known as Super Tuscan. Yes, and fascinating blend, really, and this is how it came to be. Basically, in the 1970s, a group of Italian winemakers decided to break the wine regulations of the country. So rather than having to make wines from a region and having to stick to just the grapes from that region, they started blending various grapes. So a Super Tuscan basically is a blend, things like Sangiovese blended with Cabernet, Merlot, and such. Really, this is a product of creative rebellion.
Yes, it is. And it could be a blend of anything. There's no set rule. So when you pick up a Super Tuscan, it may or may not say on the label what it is, but it could be a blend of multiple grapes, but it's always guaranteed to be delicious.
Yes, and from that classic Tuscany region in Italy. Today we are enjoying such a Super Tuscan. This is the 2005 Villa Antinori, and this consists of 4 lovelies: Sangiovese, Cabernet, Merlot, and Syrah. And we can tell you we are loving it.
Look at that color.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful blend. We're getting all the layers.
Yes, we are.
Yes. And there is something magical about pairing up a Super Tuscan with Italian food.
Yes.
It's like, let's just make the Italian marriage complete. And it's a beautiful thing. So the restaurant we're visiting today, friends, is classically Italian. It is a family-run establishment. Now, how the restaurant came to be is an inspirational story that we'd like to briefly share with you before we even head over there.
Good idea.
To set the stage. And it goes back to 1958. A gentleman by the name of Vittorio, who was from the Abruzzo city in Italy, which is near Naples, and he came to the United States barely speaking any English. He worked a series of menial jobs in the hopes of raising money to bring his wife Alba over. Factory work, he worked in a theater for a while, but through those adversities he did manage to be reunited with his wife, and together they pursued an American restaurant dream. So after some initial failure, they persevered, opened various restaurants, and today their crown jewel is in the village of Addison, Illinois, opened in 2006. And today it's run by the couple's 3 children, Frank, Alex, and Maria. However, they are blessed to still have the watchful and loving eyes of both of their parents there to inspire them on a daily basis.
That's right. Founding Father stops by every day to check everything out, make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, so we're going to check this restaurant out as well. Please join us.
We are at Venuti's Ristorante on West Lake Street here in Addison.
Yes, this lovely Italian establishment. Many of us have known it for some time, but tonight we're going to delve in and get to know it in even more detail because there are several elements at work within this facility.
Multifaceted building, of course, lovely restaurant, beautiful bar, and they also have a ginormous banquet facility here, and they do all 3 things perfectly.
Yes, and draped in luxury, as you will see further. Top-notch food, and of course, top-notch vino.
Absolutely.
So let us explore in more detail.
Let's go.
Well, at this time, it is our privilege to introduce to all of you folks the executive chef here at Venuti's Ristorante. This is Chef Frank. Sir, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about your time here at Venuti's. How long have you been the executive chef?
I've been 22 years working for Venutis, and so far we're doing good. We got a good food. We're making our homemade pastas, fresh food, everything. Trying to do our best.
That is wonderful. That's quite a bit of experience for sure, and it certainly does come out in all of the cuisine here. We'd love to see the place where it all happens, the heart of Venuti's, which has got to be the kitchen.
Sure, yeah, it's a kitchen. I can show you around the kitchen.
Thank you so much.
No problem. These are homemade bread we're making every day. It's fresh. We're baking homemade bread, homemade focaccia. We make it daily.
We could eat just plates and plates of just that. It's so delicious.
Thank you. This is our kitchen. We do everything homemade in here. It's sous chef Felipe. We're making our homemade pastas, the machines they bring from Italy. Tortellaccis, all the raviolis, homemade pastas, everything. The gnocchi machine. We're getting our own Parmesan cheese.
Oh, wow.
This is the rigatoni homemade. I just made it.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Venuti. I'm Tony, the bartender here at Venuti.
All right. How long have you been here at Venuti, sir?
I've been here for over 3 years.
Very nice. And how do you like working here in the V Lounge,
The
as they
V
call
Lounge
it?
is a fun place where you can enjoy some drinks, listen to music.
We love your wine list here. Are you much of a wine lover yourself?
I do like wine a lot. Actually, we have a really good selection of wines, mostly Italian. We go everything from light body to full body, Cabernets, Pinot Noirs, and Merlots, all that kind of stuff. So,
Nice, nice. So what are some of the popular wine selections from the patrons here?
well, one of my favorite wines is the Monsanto Chianti Classico. It's a very well-known wine among the Italians. It's a very lightweight. It's got a really good flavor.
We understand you also have perhaps a signature cocktail or two that you like to mix up.
Actually, we have quite a few. Our Martini list is pretty extensive, and also our mixed drinks are pretty good too. So I'm gonna probably show you one or two if you have time.
Oh, we certainly always have time.
We would not turn that down.
All right. There's some Godiva liqueur, and just a touch of amaretto just to give that sweetness, and some cream. So we're gonna garnish the glass a little bit with some syrup, chocolate syrup.
Oh, yes. Why stop
like
here?
that, huh?
Let's do it. Oh, my. That's absolutely beautiful.
Okay. Now you're gonna be the judge.
All right, Jeffer, are we up to this? What do you think?
Oh, gee, I don't know.
I must say, what's better than tiramisu? A
Oh,
tiramisu martini? What? Life is
great.
good.
That is delicious.
Bravo. It's just,
Liquid
it is.
dessert.
Bravo. Fabulous.
Thank you.
What a perfect way to end your perfect meal here at Venuti's. So now Jeffer and I are having a seat in the V Lounge. We love this lounge, don't we?
Oh, it's lovely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've spent many a fine evening here, and one of the cool things is you can do that for an entire evening.
Yes, you can.
Pull up one of these lovely tables. They're very cozy. They run around the whole perimeter of this lounge, and you can do drinks and appetizers, a couple appetizers, plenty for a nice, comfy evening. And as we stroll through the V Lounge, you just get the sense of how uplifting an atmosphere this is, with these super high ceilings, the lovely windows, and of course the crowning touch we alluded to earlier, that beautiful starscape at the very top.
That's
you
right.
literally feel like you're stargazing, and with some wine, that's a lovely thing to do.
It's a very
actually.
nice feature. And another nice feature about this lounge is, in addition to a nice quiet evening with wine and appetizers, they have special events here. They have resident DJs and guest DJs, and they have a state-of-the-art sound system, and this place gets bumping when they got the DJs going. They got a light show. People come here and dance and have a wonderful time. And actually, this is the DJ booth right here.
Check this out. Super cool.
Very cool.
So we have a Venuti's family member, as it were, to introduce you to. This would be Karen. She is the event specialist here at Venuti's.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Okay, I've been with Venuti since the start. I'm not a family member, but I feel like I am. So,
Very good.
yes.
Very good. So by extension, a member
By
of the
extension,
staff
absolutely.
family.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And we can tell here, everybody on the staff is very cohesive.
Yes, we all
A
work
real
together,
team
and
atmosphere.
yes, very important to work with the kitchen and the servers and dishwashers and everyone to make sure every event goes off without a hitch.
Excellent.
Wonderful. And on that vein, why don't you tell us a little bit about the events, the special events that you plan here at Venuti's in regard to
Sure. We-
weddings and things like that?
We plan a lot of weddings. So weddings are held Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So that's the main bulk of our business. We do lots of showers, graduation parties, communions, you name it. So we do a lot of those too, christenings, corporate events too. So that's something we definitely want to do more of. And we've got, AV equipment and 4 different rooms for corporate events as well.
What is it, in your opinion, that sets Venuti's apart from the rest? Why would somebody want to book their wedding here?
Well, I think the first is when you step in the door and you see the beautiful staircase and the beautiful opportunity for pictures and, just what your guests will see when they walk in. Our food also is a huge part. Like our restaurant, we kind of serve that way in banquets. So all of our food is cooked when our soup goes out. We don't pre-cook anything here.
That's wonderful.
So yeah, that allows our servers, when there's any type of steak on the menu, to ask every guest their steak temperature. We also have a package where your guests can order their entree off a menu the night of the wedding. And then also our service. Our service is top notch. We pride ourselves on staffing one server for every 2 tables. And all your courses that lead up to the entree are served tableside. So we even serve coffee tableside. So that's a wonderful place to have a wedding.
Yeah, those are super special touches. To be able to order your own entree as a wedding guest, that's very cool.
That is.
So here is the centerpiece of the banquet area here at Venuti's. That would be this crowning touch of a fountain. Isn't that just lovely?
It is. I love the sound of running water. Very calming, peaceful sound.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so imagine this area here greets your guests for whatever function it is you may be having here. And
Lovely.
all the lovely ornate marble work throughout here serves as a very nice gateway, very nice entryway for the lobby of the banquet area.
First class feeling.
Definitely, definitely. And then as we stroll through here, it's kind of cool because you can see the entry to the next part of the Venuti's world.
That's right.
The V Lounge gateway, as it were, is
Very
right
nice.
here.
No passport required.
That's right. They're letting us graze freely. Look at that. And we like to graze, don't we,
We do
Jeffrey?
love to graze. And
Yes.
speaking of grazing, our passageway through the lounge is going to take us into the restaurant, where we're
Exactly.
going to graze on some lovely dinner.
Yeah, so here's the next gateway then to the third part of the Venuti's world that we're looking at. And here the dining room absolutely awaits. And we cannot wait to start feasting and have you join us as we do that. We are so excited to finally be seated for what we know is going to be a superb dinner here at Venuti's.
Definitely, definitely. Beautiful atmosphere, lovely menus, and of course a fantastic wine list.
Yeah, so how about if we delve in, friends, and look at this, how extensive it is. So if we just start with this first page here, I'll briefly talk about a couple fun things. Of course, they have a lovely selection of bubbly, both champagne and other sparkling wines. They have to have the Perrier Jouet flower bottle, of course.
But
It's
of course.
one of Jeffers and my favorites. We don't splurge for it often, but when we do, we absolutely love it. Veuve Clicquot, of course, classic French label. And you've got to do Prosecco, classic Italian bubbly. Then they have a lovely selection of white wines, Pinot Grigio, Riesling, both Fumé and Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay. Finishing off at the bottom there, white Zinfandel and Moscato. So great selection to kick off the wine list.
Lovely selection. And then on the other page are their reds. Nice selection of Pinot Noirs, which of course we are huge fans of. And then of course you've got to have some Chianti and other reds, Sangiovese, and some very nice Barolos. Rounding out is going to be Valpolicella, which we also love. Great Italian wine selections. One thing I want to point out on the white side of the wine list is the Casa Lo Pastal Chardonnay. It's a Chilean Chardonnay, and as you all know, I am a huge Chardonnay fan.
He is.
KJ was my all-time favorite until we discovered Casa Lo Pastal here, actually celebrating my birthday a few years ago.
Yes.
And just fell in love with it, and it has now replaced Kendall as my all-time favorite. So it's great to come to a restaurant and discover a new wine that you're absolutely in love with, and I've been drinking it ever since.
Yes, indeed. And it's so fun to have a wine list that goes all the ranges from California to Italy to Chile, as in
Absolutely.
the case of the Chardonnay. Yes. And continuing on here with their red selection, we see they have a very nice section of Merlot. And look at their Cabernet here as well. Huge. List of cabs, which is nice. All sorts of ranges there. And then over here on this next page, we have some more fun, exotic type of red wines, including Zinfandel, Primitivo, Shiraz, and our good friend Malbec, South American Lovely.
Yep.
And then down here, we've got our Meritage wines. They have some designer blends, and look, friends, our featured varietal of the episode today, Super Tuscans.
Every bottle comes with a cape.
It does. He is a superhero.
Superhero.
To rescue you. So excellent selection when you put it all together.
Yes.
And then at the very bottom here to boot, they have selected wines of the month. So specific bottles that are priced very handsomely
Yes, they
for
are.
you to indulge in. So huge wine volume to go with the excellent food here at Venuti's.
Something for every palate. Very nice feature here at Venuti's. They, of course, bring you a lovely plate of selected breads.
Total specialty.
Very nice. And what's really cool, they have a giant jug of olive oil here. And Q is going to do the honors, pouring said olive oil onto the plate. But of course, a very generous tub of freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
And can't you just tell the color of this olive oil? It's special.
It is.
It is aromatic, smelling, tasting, the whole thing. And the color shows you immediately that it's going to be different.
It's perfect for dipping this lovely bread into. And of course, this is going perfectly with our wines. Q is going with the Napa Sauvignon Blanc.
Perfect starter.
Oh, yes.
Nice and clean, ready to go.
That's right. And of course, I'm going with the aforementioned Casa Lo Pastal Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Which is
How about
delicious.
some breadage to go with these lovelies?
Breadage would be lovely.
Good evening, how are you doing?
Good.
Welcome to Venuti. My name is Felix, I'll take care of you tonight.
Wonderful.
I'm going to let you know the specials. We have 2 soups, minestrone with vegetables, and we also have a portobello, primo portobello mushrooms. We have a salmon fish fillet stuffed with crab meat and hollandaise sauce on top. We also have a New York steak al forno, that means with gorgonzola cheese melted on top. And a bone-in ribeye Vesuvio sauce, garlic, olive oil, and white wine. This one is with the bone-in, better flavor. Veal portofino, 2 pieces, and a shrimp, mussels, and clams with portofino sauce. It's with cherry wine and white wine. We also have a orecchietti Zambino pasta, orecchietti, cherry tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, cherry wine sauce, baked with mozzarella cheese on top, and Barisi sausage. This one is made with lamb meat, and it's meat. Risotto Venuti, rice with 4 jumbo shrimp and tomato sauce. The last one is any kind of pasta with shrimp, some vegetables like a garlic, olive oil, peppers, onions, mushrooms, and spinach.
Very
Which
nice.
one we like?
We'll do our best. That's a big decision.
That is.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We just started with these lovely bowls of soup, and we're already blown away. I have chosen the very classic traditional minestrone. This is one of their signature offerings that they have on the menu every day. And you can just see, better than I could ever describe it, how chock full of fresh vegetables this is. Everything is delicious. One of the things I love the most would be these fresh green beans. Look how outstanding that is. Huge chunks of tomato.
This is the cream of portobello mushroom soup. Oh, it is just so unique. I mean, this soup could be a meal in it itself. Look how hearty and thick it is. Chock full of giant chunks of portobello mushroom. Spices in there, and again, the fresh ground pepper.
The very extensive menu here at Venuti's starts off with some excellent appetizers. What I love is they have a selection starting first with cold appetizers. So on this first page, you see that section, and then you see the salad selection. One I've had in particular here is their heart of palm salad, absolutely delicious. And anything with a heart of palm in it is just magic to begin
Definitely.
with.
Yep.
And then moving on to this next page, you see this whole thing is simply hot appetizers. What a huge selection that is.
It's amazing.
And we have all sorts of ingredients, a lot of seafood in particular, which is so nice. One thing to mention would be the mixed Italian seafood grill. Jeffrey and I have enjoyed this in the past.
Yes, we have.
And that was our dinner that evening.
Yes, we
that
split
with
that.
some bread, and we were good to go.
Yep.
Also want to mention another favorite of both the crew, Jeffrey and myself, is the arancini,
Oh, yes.
otherwise known as the classic Italian rice balls. And they're huge here, chock full of goodness and delicious.
Absolutely. Moving along to the dinner side, they have a lovely selection of steak, veal, lamb, and ribs here. French veal chop, milk fed, so you know that's going to be as tender can be. And then again, a nice selection of veal, the medaglione, the parmesan, the marsala, piccata, and then a baby rack of lamb. We have some very nice chicken selections. Of course, your standard parmesan, Vesuvio, chicken piccata. And then, of course, moving along to the seafood section, they have shrimp Dijon, jumbo fried shrimp, which I've had here also, is also quite good.
And then the conclusion here, the final 2 pages of the menu, just an array of pasta. Every every type of pasta, every type of pasta combination you could possibly imagine. They have a whole section devoted to linguine with the seafood theme, all those goodies of the sea. And then in the bottom section here of this first pasta page, this is one of my favorite things where you can choose your type of pasta and choose your sauce. Make your own combination. That is the most fun food freedom of all time. So they have 15 different types of pasta, several different sauces to go with. And of course, as we heard earlier, their pasta is homemade here. They're very proud of that. And then over here, the last pasta page, they have some homemade specialty pasta, classics, lasagna, manicotti, and the risotto of the day.
We're here with Felipe. He's about to cook our dinners. How you doing, Felipe?
Doing great, thank you.
All right, very good. Why don't you go ahead and just tell us what you're going to do?
Okay, I'm making a risotto Venuti, 1 cup of rice, sauteed with olive oil, red onions, and this is the fresh ingredients. So when it's like a halfway, we put it this instant, we cover, and it's in like 5 more minutes. Filo de fumo. Okay, this is like pomodoro, fresh tomato, basil, onions and garlic.
Look at that mozzarella. Oh,
Fresh mozzarella. So before we got the pasta, we put it in, we melt it for a minute, and then we top the pasta and we saute it. And we got the bio mandelion. We saute with a little butter, mushrooms, salt, pepper, a touch red tomato, fresh tomato, and we keep it a bio warm inside. Before we serve it, like 2-3 minutes, we had to put it back inside to make it come a little more juicy and give it the taste, the flavor on the veal.
So all the sauce could marry with the
Yes.
veal and it all comes together.
Like again, see, like I said, veal mandelion, like a couple minutes before we serve it, we put it with very low fire, so they take the cheese inside, everything inside. That's the one that gets the flavor. Turn around, put it like in the middle of the place. So we make the sauce smooth. Nice, look at that. Look at that sauce.
It's delicious.
Beautiful. This is a veal mandelion dish. We got the pan, it's already hot. It's already warm, ready to serve. So we mix it up a little bit, we put it on it. You see, you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one who get a better flavor. So you drink the rigatoni.
Look at that mozzarella in there. It looks
Put it
beautiful.
on it. So you saute. We saute all our pasta. Okay. We use a little Parmesan cheese. So we got like a little spoon.
Oh, a little bit of Parmesan.
Little Parmesan cheese. All right. So look at that. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful rigatoni. Then we got sauce on top. Look at that, nice sauce. Fresh, just like all our food.
Lovely.
Nice. Beautiful, look at it. Nice rice. Put it. Nice. Look, make it look nice. Like in the middle. Just like that.
Beautiful.
This is our dish. This is our risotto Venuti. These are our vegetable, fresh homemade vegetable. Every day. Nice and warm.
Look at that. Oh,
That's a beautiful potato, see? This is our veal mandelion with our side dish.
lovely. Excellent. Felipe, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I ordered the chicken medaglione, and I have to tell you, it is superb. It is everything I anticipated it being and more. Giant inflated breast of chicken, stuffed with goodness. Stuffed with prosciutto, and there's fresh parsley and all kinds of good stuff in there. And this very nice, lightly breaded egg breading concoction. Just delicious. Topped with mushrooms and a nice wine sauce. It is absolutely superb.
Amazing.
Yes, must try.
So I had to take advantage of the gift they offer of the pasta pairing fun that you can have. And I've chosen, first of all, the rigatoni pasta, classic tube-shaped pasta. I had to choose the rigatoni because, of course, we saw it earlier in the
Yes.
kitchen when we saw it freshly made and presented to us by the executive chef himself. So unmistakable fresh pasta. The sauce I've chosen is called Filo di Fumo, and I chose it not only because it sounds amazing, but because I've never heard of it. So for me, it was something different. So this is, first of all, a pomodoro sauce, very classic tomato sauce. It's fresh tomato, garlic, and basil. Right there, that sounds delicious enough.
Absolutely.
But this sauce has an extra touch, and that would be the fresh mozzarella, which is mixed in towards the end of the process, and you can just see how it's just starting to cook ever so deftly, but still keeps its very mozzarella character. I can tell you that this is absolutely superb, and it's unmistakably homemade. I mean, certainly by looking at it, the tomato chunks, the fresh basil, you can tell it's homemade, and the taste, of course, simply confirms that. And Jeffrey and I are enjoying both of our entrees with our featured varietal, and that would be the Super Tuscan.
There he is. We removed the capes so we could drink.
Yes, just to make it easier for us to ingest.
That's right.
And this is from the good people at Ruffino, very, very well-known, renowned Italian winery. And it's a perfect pairing here, both of these dishes.
It is.
With this vino.
It is. And finally, we have Crew's dish. Of course, he went with risotto Venutis, which is their signature risotto. Just simply shrimp, cherry tomatoes, and a lovely bed of risotto, as we saw in the kitchen. Look at the heft on that. I mean, that is 2 meals right there. It is just beautiful.
And it's also wonderful that their risotto selection actually changes daily. So this is their namesake one, but every day it's a new one for you to discover. So as you can all see, Jeffrey and I have managed to get up from the dining table. We're actually walking, despite those enormous meals we just had.
That's right, but we did not finish them all. We have to-go boxes just out of camera range.
Yes, and you know how healthy our appetites are, and yet we were still defeated. Please take a gander behind us here at the beauty of this dining room. Again, we mentioned, for instance, in the V Lounge with the high ceilings, same height here, a very uplifting, elegant layout. And one of my favorite things about Venuti's is that when you drive down Lake Street, obviously you see the elegance, you see the opulence. The classic Roman architecture certainly cannot be overlooked. But some of you folks might be thinking out there, if I want an intimate Italian dinner, maybe I don't want to go into this big marble palace. But no, friends. The dining room will give you the most intimate, quaint, traditionally elegant dining atmosphere you could possibly want. And that's the beauty. There are so many worlds within this building. As we conclude our visit here at Venuti's, we thought, what finer way to say farewell than from their most elegant, classic staircase, part of the centerpiece of their glorious banquet area.
Yes, very elegant, opulent, and luxurious.
Yes.
And as I come down these stairs, Q, I feel like I'm attending the Academy Awards.
Well, I must say, you look very elegant. I feel very elegant.
You also look very elegant yourself.
Thank you. See, and that deserves an Academy Award.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
But for sure, elegance is the name of the game here at Venuti's. Elegance is in every touch, and that goes for any experience you might have here, whether it's having a banquet in this unbelievable banquet area, having a lovely cocktail or appetizer in the V Lounge, or sitting down to a scrumptious dinner in their restaurant.
Absolutely. The whole thing you had alluded to earlier, the cohesiveness here, and that comes through in the owners here. They're very proud of their establishment and the people that work for them. And the people that work here, they're very proud of what they do and the product that they put out. And it all comes through in the service, the food, the atmosphere. It works perfectly.
It certainly does. And it's one thing to have fresh ingredients, quality ingredients, and expert chefs, but there is absolutely no substitute for family heritage, a rich family legacy of quality and passion for what they do. That element added to all the other things really makes Venuti special. It is unmistakable. So friends, we urge you to experience Venuti's, any one of the elements it has to offer. So that would be Venuti's Ristorante and Banquets on West Lake Street in Addison.